Alright, so I want to talk to everybody in Driftstl today about the road course event that's coming up. It is an open drift day, so anyone is allowed to drive. There's been a lot of confusion about, is it only for Pro 2 and Pro 1 drivers for practice? Is it, do you have to have a cage? So I want to go through some of the stuff on what you need. So, but yeah, it is open for everybody. Everybody gets to drive. You will get plenty of seat time. Bring more tires than you think you're going to need. Do not need a cage. Only for tandem. Zero tandem without a cage. We're going too fast. That might change throughout the day because I don't think it's too big of a deal if you're tandeming but you're not door-to-door tandeming. Like if you're both on the same run but there's 40 feet between each of you. That's, in my opinion, that's not really tandem anyway, and I think you have enough time to slow down and everything before you hit each other. I don't think we're going to have too big of an issue with non-cage drivers trying to tandem, because usually by the time you have a cage you're pretty experienced and you can go do whatever you want, do your own thing. But yeah, that's going to be March 9th, and we're not going to do our competition on the road course because frankly judging it and running it and setting it all up is very difficult on that track, and it's hard to let other people run while I don't want to stop the track for us to do the competition, because the road course, I want everybody to get as much seat time as they can. Other than that, it's going to be ran the exact same way we do all of our parking lot events. We will still have Brian Modre at the starting line, and I'll be running around doing everything. I'm going to drive. We got a lot of Pro 2 drivers coming because they want to practice on a high-speed track, and especially a track that they're going to be running in Pro 2. I don't know of any Pro 1 drivers coming. There's not too many that live close enough to really make it worthwhile for them, more than likely, but they're invited as well. Our tech rules, I know we're pretty lenient on a lot of things usually. Not going to be the case for the road course. I had to redo the battery on my car because it came and it did not have it was using one of these this plastic box, and the box itself was bolted to the floor, but then the battery was just set in there. I can take the lid off of my car and I can grab the battery, and I can shake the entire car from grabbing just the battery. And that's the way your battery should be mounted in your car. We can go over a few things on my car. I still have to do the right wheel bearing, right rear wheel bearing has some play in it. So I actually have my spare right here to put on. You know, you need to make sure you have all your lug nuts and everything. Yeah, so March 9th, it's going to be the day. Other than that, I just wanted to take you on a tour of my new garage. Tanya and I just bought a house the first week of November, and so this is where I work on my car stuff. So kind of want to do like a full finished garage, and you know, that just takes time because it's really expensive. Like this flooring was like pretty expensive. So I still gotta finish this side, but as you can see I have a whole bunch of stuff that I have to move to make that happen. Yeah, I got the light fixtures. That fixture, these four fixtures were already in here, and that one, the ballast I guess is bad because I tried new bulbs. Then I'm gonna hang 3 more light fixtures on that far wall over there because it's pretty dark. Kind of looks bright in the picture or in the video, but it's a little dark. Coming over here, this is all my stuff to charge, all my tools, all the Milwaukee stuff is fantastic. I have the underhood light over there, which is awesome, especially if you work in a garage, because as soon as you open your hood, it's completely dark in your engine bay. Yeah, I just want to walk you guys through some stuff that you should probably have in your garage or for your race car. And it just makes it so much more efficient when you have something like a setup like this. You can really get in and like get work done. Like I only work on my car maybe 2 or 3 hours a week, but I can get a lot done because I have everything right here at my disposal. All kinds of fluids and stuff. It's kind of randomly organized right now. Sylvia headlights and S13 to RB25 brackets because I was building an RB25 before I got this car. Some of the wiring that I'm going to use to wire up the garage. Spare arms. You need to have a cheetah. You gotta have a cheetah. All the parts to build an RB25. So I got the heater, spare knuckles and brakes, and spare diff. Fuel for the heater, big air compressor, which I don't have electricity 220 ran yet, so that kind of sucks. But what I highly suggest, if you have one of these, it sucks turning it on and off all the time. For like 30 bucks, I got this thermostat. Plugs in, on and off, and it basically just switches the power on and off at whatever temperature you want to set it to. So it's pretty awesome. Over here, RB25 head. It's all Series 1 stuff. Pistons and everything. All the accessories, intake, RB25 trans. I'm in the middle of cleaning all this up and putting everything downstairs that I don't want so that I can have nice clean area. So this is the table I've been working off of. I'm about to change the fluid in the transmission because my reverse doesn't work, which is probably a bent synchro issue. So that's fluid is probably not going to fix it, but it's worth a try. Toolbox. This is the toolbox I take for track days. Just has like an overly simplified, or not overly, just a simplified tools, but you know, I just don't like having just a sack of tools. I like to have a good amount of tools, so if you have a problem, you can actually fix it and get back on track. Welder, super happy I finally have a welder. I'm 31, I finally have my own welder. I don't care if it's a 110 welder. I'm not a fabricator. I can connect metal together in my own shop, and that is awesome. Let's see, so let's get into my new car here. So this is a pretty, if you guys know me, you know I had that LS S14. Originally I had a 2J in it, and that's what I really wanted to do. I ended up trading my LS S14, which was like a fully done up drift car, and it had all the suspension that I wanted. It was all set up. I felt awesome in that car. I just it's always very difficult to sell like a whole engine package. Like if I had pulled the whole LS and T56 out and then trying to sell it to someone and they're not sure if it runs and drives. It worked out really well for me and Aaron Losey to trade, so I could get his 370Z, and I wasn't intending to trade the 370 for this. I was going to keep the 370 for a very long time. It worked out really well for me and Aaron Losey to trade, so I could get his 370Z, and I wasn't intending to trade the 370 for this. I was going to keep the 370 for a very long time. It's just if you're into cars, you're probably a pretty impulsive person, and what you want to do probably changes day by day. Same reason Losey wanted my S14 is the reason I wanted to trade the 370 for this. I'm very excited for this car because it's basically exactly the way I would have done a JZ. It's a 1.5 JZ. Forged pistons, stock rods, and stock crankshaft. 1 JZ VVTi head. It has solid lifters, pond cams, and valve springs. Alright, so let me show you the car, and yeah, the body's pretty rough. You can see it was drifted, but I think all drift cars should just be 10 footers. I don't think there's a lot of reason to put a whole lot of time into making them look too good up close like a show car when you're going to be beating on it as hard as we do. So as you can see, I know I just point out all the things that suck on this car, but no anti-intrusion bars, so we'll be adding those. The shifter was right there where the ashtray is, so I got the GK Tech shifter to move it forward, and I did not have enough ABS plastic, so I didn't have a long enough sheet, I should say, so I'll order another one and redo this. I probably won't, because I don't care. But yeah, it goes like that. And then, you know, you can turn blah blah blah. Yep. I got the laptop hooked up, just making sure all the parameters were set the way they should be. It seems like the guy that tuned it knew how to do all the safety precautions. It's running on AEM Infinity, which I think is one of the best ECUs you can buy right now. I love AEM. Suspension, it's on Fortunato Prime coilovers. I think it has Megan front lower control arms, PBM drop knuckles in the rear with the dual calipers, and full ISR rear arms. Turn this off. Alright, so here is the engine bay. Like I was saying, he did all the stuff that I would have done. 850cc injectors, Borg-Warner journal bearing S360, 60mm turbo, 220 pounds of boost. Intercooler. LS coil packs. What have I done? So you can see right here, these things break valve covers all the time. So I had Andy Lewis weld the tabs on the valve cover. There was like 4 of them that were broken off, and it was just puking oil back there in the corner. On the back of the head, I got that all sorted out. Now I need to degrease the whole block because it's disgusting. Should make like 550 horsepower. I don't have a way to adjust it without busting out the laptop though. There's no, like, I want to get one of those, boost control knobs, because the ECU can run CAN bus, so you can just have like a CAN bus adjustment knob and adjust it that way. But what's awesome about these AEM Infinities, and a lot of the other ECUs too, I'm sure, but you can see I have a fuel pressure sensor there, there's an oil pressure sensor, there's a coolant temp sensor, all that stuff goes in the ECU, and the ECU can actually limit boost and RPM, and, you know, to protect the engine in case something is out of spec. And that is something that I'm really excited about. A lot more peace of mind when you're driving and you're not worried about blowing it up. But yeah, this thing's pretty cool. The whole radiator comes off with this pin and that pin, and the whole core support comes off, and then the bash bar has pins as well. I've never seen this before, but he drilled holes through the end tank, and I'm not sure if that's a boost leak or if he sleeved it and welded in like sleeves. I don't know. I'm gonna have to check that out, because I'm pretty sure that's a massive boost leak. You have holes in your end tank. You know, this turbo can easily push. It runs 20 pounds of boost, but you know, if you have boost leaks, a lot of times the turbo has to spin a certain amount of RPM faster to run the same amount of boost. And you know, spool is going to be affected by boost leaks. So the car kind of surges at idle like it has a boost leak, like there's a vacuum leak somewhere. And so yeah, I think that's really one of the main things I got to figure out. Other than that, the car is great. Man, it had a bunch of stuff that needed to be gone through when I first got it, but pretty much got it all figured out. I wonder if you can see how towed in this wheel is. Yeah, but yeah, should be pretty sweet.
Back show.